Hello, hello. This is Jessica Gerlock, certified personal trainer and author of the book You Don't Make Friends with Salad. And you're listening to the 5 Foot Strong podcast, the show that we will do a deep dive into our personal strengths, discover what makes you strong, and talk about our physical and mental health journeys. Whether you are 5 feet tall like myself or 5'11", we are all 5 foot strong in our own unique and beautiful ways. So please take a big deep breath in, get comfortable, and let's do this. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining me. I am Jessica Gerlock, and I'm so excited to be your host for the 5 Foot Strong podcast. For the next 10 weeks, this will be a place of positivity. We will focus on our strengths. I will share my strengths. You will share your strengths. We're going to have amazing guests, and I'm so excited to get into it all. But let's start off by talking about what being strong really means. I looked into this. I opened an old school dictionary. No, I didn't. I looked it up online. But being strong as an adjective technically has two definitions. Being strong physically, meaning who can lift the most in the gym, who is the most muscular, all of those things. Yes, that is physically strong. But there also is being mentally strong. And that is being resilient. That is knowing your worth. That is the confidence to believe in yourself. So that technically is what being strong is. And throughout the next 10 weeks, we're going to talk to different people about their strengths. Everybody has strengths. Let's focus on them. Instead of focusing on negativity, this podcast is the wrong place for that. We are going to focus on positivity, and we are going to focus on our strengths and what makes us strong. Yes, I am only 5 feet tall, but I'm told I've faked my height pretty well, and that is because I have confidence. I believe in myself. I am resilient because I've had to be. Most people become strong because they have no other choice. And we are going to learn about those strengths and focus on them because what you focus on grows. And we want to focus on our strengths so our strengths grow. And during these next 10 weeks, each Wednesday, we're going to talk about physical and mental health. And we're going to talk about weight loss. And we're going to talk about people's journey to happiness and choosing their mental health. And I'm so excited for all of that. And that is what the 5 Foot Strong podcast is going to be all about. So I can't wait to get right into it. And I'm going to share a little bit of a personal side today. I'm going to share my journey, who I am, because most of you are saying, who is this woman? Well, I'm going to share with you how I became strong today. My journey of finding my personal happiness and learning about my inner strengths began 10 years ago when I took a sharp left turn in my life. Nobody was expecting it. I don't even think I was expecting it. I still, 10 years later, I still can't believe that I did this, but I'm so proud of myself. It was May 2014. I had just left an awesome job, but I was completely miserable. I was 227 pounds, technically considered obese. I was depressed. I was anxious. I had gastric issues. I had joint issues. I didn't love myself inside or out. And I was in a dark, dark place. Fortunately, because of my weight, from most of my childhood and my teen years into my early 20s, I was body shamed and bullied. And I was also told for years and years by doctors and nutritionists and other medical professionals that they were concerned that I needed to lose weight if I wanted to get healthy. But it kind of all went in one ear and out the other, and I really never did anything about it. I didn't think I had a choice. I didn't think I had the strength inside of me to do anything about it. It was a dark time, but I realized that if I wanted to be truly happy and love myself, then I couldn't rely on anybody else. I had to do the hard work. And I had to get out of my comfort zone and make a change. And change can be very, very scary. I remember going on a solo trip to spend some time alone trying to figure out what the next steps of my life would be. At the time, I had no job. As I said, it was a transition period. But I don't know what clicked. But when I came home from that trip, the very next day, I went to a local community center and I joined the gym. I understand as a heavy person or someone just starting out on a fitness journey that walking into a gym can be an extremely intimidating step in the right direction, but it is a very big step in showing that you are determined and you are dedicated to yourself to make a change. So, as intimidating as it can be to walk into a gym, just know that that's the step in the right direction and be proud of yourself for making that step because a lot of people don't make that same step. I walked into that gym on that first day. I had no idea what I was doing. But like most beginners, I got on a treadmill, I started walking, then I started jogging. Each time I broke a sweat, but I felt like I was accomplishing something and I was really proud of myself for that. In reality, I had no idea how to work out properly to receive the best results, but I knew I was motivated and nobody or nothing was going to stop me. I had that itch inside of me that I was ready to make that change in my life. And I felt that inner strength that taught me that you can actually do this and know your worth on that. Knowing myself, I knew I had to start slow and not get discouraged. My plan wasn't just to lose weight for a special event or anything. My plan was to lose weight and never, ever gain it back. I would go to the gym, I would watch what other people were doing, I would copy their exercises, but really I had no idea what I was doing. So after a few months, I hired a personal trainer. I wanted to learn how to exercise properly for my body type, and I learned proper form, I learned proper technique, and I learned how to work out efficiently. I would see my trainer twice a week, and I would work out on my own twice a week. I was starting to feel really empowered. I was starting to feel really strong, physically and mentally. And I started to see changes in my body, which made me even more determined and ready to make even more of a change. I knew that the next step, if I wanted to make that next change and start losing even more weight, was I had to change my eating habits. And for me, this was the hardest part of the entire journey. I learned early on in my health journey that you really can't outrun a bad diet, meaning that you could work out 6 hours a day, but if you're eating terribly, it really doesn't matter. You need basic weight loss comes down to calories in versus calories out. So if I wanted to lose weight, I had to cut back on what I was eating. It's not a secret, as I did write a book called You Don't Make Friends with Salad. I am and still am a picky eater. Sorry, I was and still am a picky eater, and I did not like vegetables. I knew if I wanted to get my goal and maintain it, I'd have to make these small adjustments in my eating, and I'd have to incorporate vegetables, and I'd have to incorporate other foods that I might not technically enjoy, but I knew I had to eat if I wanted to make a change. And I really, that was my goal right there is nothing was going to stop me, as I said before. I could say I did it. I learned to like vegetables and it took me a year and a half to lose over 100 pounds, but I felt amazing and I haven't gained it back 10 years later. I felt a sense of power that I had never felt before. It gave me that mindset that you could really do anything you put your mind to. I started to love the way I look. And it's unfortunate, but I also noticed that people's perception of me was definitely changing as well. I noticed that it's unfortunate, but other people look down upon you when you're overweight, which you shouldn't, because it doesn't mean you're lazy or anything. But I definitely noticed that people look different upon a skinnier version of myself versus the 227-pound version of myself. 10 years later, I have built healthy habits and I continue to work on them every single day. I work out, I eat well the majority of the time, and I prioritize my mental health. I journal, I recite positive affirmations every day, I put up boundaries, and I can tell you I am honestly the happiest I've ever been in my life. I am not the girl I was in my teen years, but I also know that that girl would be damn proud of the woman I am today, and it would not have been possible without putting that hard work and learning about myself and learning how to put myself, my physical and my mental self as a priority in my life. And I really think that I learned so many different strengths about myself during that journey that I would not have learned if I didn't make myself as a priority and my health as a priority, and the rest is history. Each week on the 5 Foot Strong podcast, we're going to do a hot or not segment, and we're going to address some different trends that are going on in the fitness and weight loss world. And I'm going to share my opinion to you all as a personal trainer. And I'm also going to share my opinion as someone who has lost over 100 pounds the hard way by eating properly and exercising and was once considered obese. This week, I'm going to address the number one question I get asked almost every day. What is my opinion on this craze right now of these weight loss drugs, such as Ozempic and Mounjaro and the other ones on the market? I'll be honest, when I first saw some of the Real Housewives using them, and they were technically not considered obese, or I'm assuming don't have diabetes type 2, and they were flaunting their quick fix for weight loss, I was definitely a little thrown off. I don't think that that was the right image that these housewives should be showing these young girls that look up to them. I also did some research as a professional and learned about these semi-glutide medications and how they affect the body. These drugs need to be used properly to be effective, and they need to be used alongside a healthy diet and exercise so that they can improve the blood sugar levels in adults that technically do have type 2 diabetes and, in effect, lose weight. For these drugs to actually work properly, you need to follow a healthy lifestyle plan, which includes a high protein diet and regular exercise. It is important that if you are taking these weight loss drugs, that you focus on your protein intake. When I look at these weight loss drugs as a professional in the fitness industry, I see a medical miracle. I really do, and that's my true opinion. I think it's a helpful thing. It will be a helpful tool for a lot of people to use. Since according to the World Health Organization in 2022, 1 in 8 people in the entire world were living with obesity. So in every 8 people, one person was considered obese. Obesity is a serious problem, and especially here in North America. I'm in Canada, but in the US, it is an even more serious situation. People are eating less high quality foods and moving their bodies less. Our bodies were not made to sit on the couch all day or in chairs all day at the office, but that's exactly what we are doing. I was considered obese at one point in my life. And there are a lot of medical issues that come along with being obese, including cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, high blood pressure, and even certain cancers. I personally dealt with a lot of gastric diseases, high cholesterol, gallbladder diseases, mental health, asthma, bone, joint issues, and all these issues were associated with being obese. Being obese is very hard, and losing weight by adopting a healthy lifestyle is very hard to do. So these drugs are giving a third option to give uh, a quick fix, which will hopefully help people build these skills and habits of living a healthy lifestyle. And one day, hopefully, not have to rely on the drugs for weight loss support. Um, if people who are actually obese and living with diabetes, type 2 diabetes, which is normally associated with a poor lifestyle, and they use these drugs properly, by a supported by a medical doctor, and eating high protein and working out and eating, properly, fruits, vegetables, all that good stuff, that I totally support it. But I do not support these celebrities who are using these drugs when they don't need to. I think it is important to build the habits of living a healthy lifestyle and eating well and learning portion control and learning to work out for your mental health and for your physical health. Lastly, all I want to say about these drugs is that I also thought about what I learned about myself during the weight loss process that I would not have learned about myself by pricking myself with a needle, and that's just my honest opinion. What a lot of people don't understand who haven't lost an extreme amount of weight by doing it the old school way, I guess you could say, is what you learn about yourself. I learned about myself to respect myself. I learned self-discipline. I learned self-control. And I really learned to love my body and respect it at the same time. I am a completely different woman since I lost my weight the old school way of eating well and working out, because I put that hard work in and dedication into my physical and mental health. And after 10 years, I'm proud of myself and my body. And if you getting that quick fix of losing 20 pounds will give you that boost of into your fitness and weight loss journey, then good for you. You do it. Just use these drugs properly and only by a physician that knows what they're doing. But I do think that they have a lot of potential, and hopefully they don't get used in the wrong way. So that's all I have to say about the weight loss drugs, and that's the hot or not trend of the week. Another segment we're going to do in the 5 Foot Strong podcast is each week I'm going to share with you a healthy tip for the week, which these tips will help you live a healthier lifestyle and will put you in the right direction of starting your fitness or weight loss journey. My first tip, and it's really the most simple, is to start slow. Never overwhelm yourself. Never overdo it, because it won't last in the long haul. Choose one area, whether it be your fitness, your diet, or your mental health, and make one small positive change whether it be, an adjustment in your diet or, even adding exercise as a regular in your routine or putting 5 minutes aside for meditation or journaling or adding positive affirmations, whatever it may be, make one small positive change at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself and be consistent at that one change for a couple weeks. Give it a go. If you feel, wow, I got this is easy for me, then make another change. But, I've been able to keep my weight off for 10 years because I never restricted myself from anything. As I said before, I am a picky eater. And so for me, my first change to me eating better, was cutting out sweetened iced tea. That was like my go-to, I would have it at home, I would have it at restaurants, but really it was only sugar and it was a lot of unnecessary calories that was, uh, you know, stopping me from getting my goals that I wanted to do. I remember I didn't cut it out cold turkey, but I cut it down to one a day and then I cut it down to just dining out. And now it's become like kind of a rarity in my diet. But once in a while, I do treat myself and I've never restricted myself. If I've wanted one, I've had one. But, I guess I kind of used it before in a way, I don't know, I think I was just comfortable with it and I wasn't comfortable to make a change. And then I finally made a change and uh, you know, drinking sodas and iced tea, they're just so full of sugar. And if your goal is weight loss, it's a lot of unnecessary calories that really can be cut out quite easy. So that was my first small change that I made in when it came to my diet. So that's my tip of the week for this week. Start slow, choose one area of your life style that needs some improving, whether it be your fitness, your diet, or your mental health, and make one small healthy change toward your life. If you do that, you are in the right direction and you are just improving the quality of your life for your future. So that's my tip of the week. I want to end this first episode by thanking each and every one of you for tuning in and listening to the 5 Foot Strong podcast. From the bottom of my heart, I really do appreciate it and it means a lot. Together we are going to be stronger, and that's what I hope for this podcast. A community where we can focus on physical health, mental health, and the importance of working on our personal strengths. Remember, you are important, you are resilient, and you are strong enough to handle anything thrown your way. If you enjoyed today's episode, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. If you have any fitness or lifestyle questions, please email the number 5footstrong@gmail.com, and hopefully we can address some of these questions in the future episodes. New episodes will drop every Wednesday wherever you get your podcast fix. And if you're interested in more about my personal journey or my book, You Don't Make Friends with Salad, please visit www.jessicagerlock.com. Remember, whether you are 5 feet tall like myself or 5'11", we are all 5 foot strong. See you next week.
1,